We've been looking for our next Mustang, and on our last visit, one mare really caught our eye. She was tall and well built, with soft, kind eyes, and at one point she was scratching herself on a tree. And that might sound like a silly thing to notice, but it stood out. She was intentionally moving around, figuring out how to reach all the right itchy spots, and it showed a bit of cleverness. While the other horses around her were spooking and reacting to us, she stayed calm. She'd check in on the herd for a moment, then she'd go back to her important job of finding that perfect scratch. There was something quietly silly about her in the best way. Her hooves were a bit long, but I liked their shape, and on top of it all, her buckskin pinto coloring didn't hurt either. With the office closing early that day, we headed home without much information on her. I sent an email later and learned that she's a coming 5-year-old mare from the South Steens HMA out of Oregon. She was rounded up in August of 2024 and measured last year at 15 hands tall. With all that information, we knew she was the one we wanted. They were able to fit us in for an appointment if we could come get her the very next morning. So, by midday, we headed out and started the long drive to Burns, Oregon, to pick up this girl the following day. She loaded pretty easily, and aside from one brief moment of sheer panic, she settled in well for the drive home. The long drive home gave me plenty of time to see if I could find pictures of her out in the wild. I was able to find one. This one was taken of her as a 2.5-year-old. You can see how much she's going to change colors once the summertime rolls around. Even with the days being short right now and losing an hour headed back, we made it home in the daylight with just enough time to unload her and let her settle in. She was very snorty. Horses snort when they're uncertain, and they'll also snort when they feel the need to be defensive. A way of saying, stay back. She wasn't aggressive, she was just scared.
Not too bad.
We'll be up early in the morning to check on her and start working with her.
Good morning. Today's an exciting day here for us, and we're going to bring you along on our full first day with an untouched wild Mustang. We got her home last night. She's settling in up here. We have a 6'6" round pen, and she's in there just hanging out, blinking, kind of taking everything in, processing it all.
Hey, sweetheart. How's it going? How you doing today? get used to it because we gotta pick your poop out. I think I'll just set her poop in a pile out the gate right now, and then we can just come scoop it another time. You're good. I'm not coming for you. Good girl. You're good.
As you can see, this girl is pretty wild. She is an untouched horse, other than getting freeze branded and vaccinated, as well as getting pushed from pen to pen at the facility.
Good girl, you're all right. You'll figure out. I'm not coming for you.
Although no one has ever been cruel to her, people in her life up to this point have meant pressure. You can imagine how scary it would be for an untouched horse to be ran down an alley and into a chute, even though that is necessary to handle these horses. Her behavior is all very normal for an untouched Mustang. Horses are prey animals. In the wild, their survival depends on their ability to react quickly. Their instincts tell them when to flee, when to brace, and when they may need to fight. That awareness is what has kept them alive for thousands of years. When we start working with a wild Mustang, they don't know anything different. They don't know that we're trying to be kind. They don't know that we're here to help. All they know is what their instincts are telling them. And those instincts are rooted in survival. So when she snorts or feels tense, that isn't her being difficult or aggressive. That's a prey animal doing exactly what she was designed to do. Our job isn't to rush past that. It's to slow down, stay consistent, and show her over time that she doesn't need to run or fight to be safe.
Good girl. You're doing good. Yeah, you're a good girl. Hi. You want to stand up? Good job. She's like, I'm going to come paw you down. Good girl. You're okay. You're okay. I was just looking at your poo.
Now, this isn't a how to train your Mustang type of video. We are far from professionals. This is more of a come along as we journal our experience with our wild horses. And we're going to cut these sessions up, so if you want to watch the full uncut session, go over to our membership page and join to watch all of those. One thing I've noticed with this girl right off the bat is she's not particularly curious. She's a very independent horse. She really doesn't care what the other horses are up to, and she has no interest in me whatsoever. So the very first thing I need to do is try to catch her attention and get her to hook onto me a little bit more. She also is very nervous about giving me two eyes. I like to have these Mustangs face up and create some draw, but she is really terrified when she looks at me from the front. Because she can't fully commit to looking at me with both eyes, then I'm going to do a little exercise where as long as she has that inner ear on me, then I'm going to leave her alone. When it flicks off of me and she's looking outside the corral, then I'm going to put a little pressure on her, just until I get that ear to flick back. This is just creating her to pay attention to me a little bit and gain a little bit of a connection with her.
Good girl.
You can see that her bubble is about half of this corral, so I'm not going to move any closer to her. I'm just going to keep pivoting along with her. Right now she's trotting quite a bit, so I know that I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on her just being in here. Thankfully she's not running around bouncing off the walls. If she was, then I wouldn't even be able to get in the corral most likely. Or I'd have to stand on one side and let her be on the other. She can handle me being in the middle, so I'm just going to continue with this. When she gets distracted, then I'll go ahead and put a little bit of pressure on her. As soon as she does look at me with both eyes, then I'm going to back completely off. She's not able to hang out there and really enjoy that pressure being removed off of her, so we'll just keep going. Eventually she'll be able to stand there and look at me with both eyes and realize that that is what I'm asking for, and that all the pressure gets taken off of her when she does so. She's able to keep her feet still, but she's not really looking at me, so I'm just going to take a few steps. When she looks away, I'm just going to wait and see if I can bring her attention back, and as soon as I do, then I'm going to back off. She has to move her feet, which is totally fine. I'd really like to get to the point where she can turn and face me this session.
It's definitely harder for her to like look at me with two eyes than it was for Rooster. She gets a little worried when she like faces up.
It is good that now she's starting to walk and come down a little bit. She also is making smaller circles around me. Even though she has plenty more room to walk along the rail, she chooses to walk more towards the center and closer to me, which is a good sign as well. She finally was brave enough to look at me with two eyes, so I went ahead and backed clear off.
She's very curious.
This has taken about 20 minutes to get to this point. She was trotting around for quite a while, just completely ignoring that I was even in the round corral. I'm going to let her just keep her feet still and think about that for a minute. I'm looking for her to lick and chew or show some signs that she's coming down off the stress that she's been experiencing. We are going to be posting these full sessions over on the members channel, so if you want to join our membership, you can see the full uncut versions of her sessions.
You can definitely like read what she's thinking before she does what she wants to do. I can't tell if she wants to roll.
There was some licking and chewing, so that's a great sign. Since she's distracted out of the corral, I'm going to walk towards her and just see if I can catch her attention again. I would just like her to turn and look at me with both eyes. There, she stopped, so I'm going to give her a little break.
Good. Yeah. It's scary to look at me with both eyes, huh?
There you could see how she snorted as soon as she looked at me out of both eyes. She definitely is very fearful of turning and facing humans.
Good girl. Chickens. Chickens are scary. Oh, it's the ducks on the ice.
My guess is while they were working her up the alley, if she would have turned and faced them, they probably would have applied a lot of pressure onto her just because they wanted to keep her moving, not doing anything mean to her. So she's always experienced a lot more pressure when she looks straight on at people.
Oh, you were close. Just as I'm more comfortable on this side. There you go. Good.
Most of this session looked just like this. A lot of approach and retreat and her just walking circles around me. She finally could give me two eyes calmly though, so that's a good start. She gets a little distracted, so I'm going to walk at her again and just see if I can't catch her eye.
Good girl.
That was better. She turned her attention back to me. Now she's a little distracted. So I'm just going to walk towards her a little bit and just see if she'll turn and face me.
Almost.
This is the edge of her comfort zone. You can see that that is a little bit too much pressure for her. Mm-hmm. That's about as close as I can get to her right now.
So that's about my bubble right now.
There, she gave me two eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and back off. And this is awesome that she's actually looking at me with both eyes and not just spooking out of there like she was earlier. I'm going to give her a moment to think on that, and then I'm going to go and ask for her to look at me again. She's very distracted with the chickens and the ducks running around.
Very nice. Can you stay? Can you look?
There you can see I've reached the edge of her bubble where she feels comfortable. She's telling me, like, I don't want you to get any closer than that. That's close enough.
Good.
So I'm just going to hang out there and see if I can just catch her attention. There, she gave me two eyes, so I'll walk away. You'll notice as we continue that this mare paws quite a bit. She does it in the beginning because she's unsure about stuff, but as we keep going, it's like her part of her process when she's thinking through things and starting to come down off of that stress. Oftentimes she'll paw and then she'll start yawning afterwards. I'm trying to get her attention. I got a little too close for her there, so I'm going to back off a little bit. I'm going to try again and see if she can just turn her attention to me.
Girl.
I got that ear, so I'm going to back off again. There, she was able to look at me with two eyes, but she was kind of spooking at the chickens and ducks at the same time, so she couldn't stay.
Work on this side. Can we work on this side? This side's a lot touchier.
She really does not like me on that right side.
Yes,
she's
that side's
very
a lot
touchy
harder
about
for
her
you,
right
huh?
side. She feels much better if I'm on her left side. That is something I'll definitely need to work on later. It's really important that you work on both sides of horses equally, or even more so if they have one side that's a little bit more touchy. But for now, since it's the very beginning, I'll just focus on her left side and we'll deal with the right here in a little while later. She's a funny girl because right now her attitude is like, you can just stand on that side of the corral and I'll just stand on this side of the corral and we never have to touch each other, and that's totally fine with me. I like her independent spirit as far as the other horses running around and her not reacting off of it. And I think that's going to make her really cool in the future. But it definitely makes things a lot more challenging when they have no want to connect with you whatsoever.
Oh, good girl. So good. Yes. So good.
We keep working on this, and finally I get two eyes and she's able to stand there while I walk away. That was awesome. I'm going to give her a moment to process and then see if I can catch her attention again.
Snort. Snort. Oh, so good. You're so brave. It's very scary to look at you with both eyes. You are so good. She's like, I don't know about these crazy humans.
She's finally starting to pick up on what I'm trying to ask her to do.
Yeah. I don't know. You walk through there. It's all very tight. It's okay. I won't trap you though. I promise. Good job. Nice and calm. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. I think she's gonna be touchier on her face and like in front of her than she is with her rear end right now. Like that's how I feel. Which Rooster's like the opposite. Which it's kind of almost nice this way. Like it might take longer to get a halter and stuff on her, but once you get them like comfortable with their front end, then it's like things behind them and stuff aren't as big of a deal. Good girl. She's starting to get it now. A little look into. I do like that. She really processes stuff a lot. Oh, good job. Thank you. Just like humans are weird.
She's finally starting to check me out and act like she's maybe a little bit curious about what I'm doing. This is a huge step, so I'm just going to let her soak right here.
Good girl. Can you train your human? If I look at her, good girl. She'll quit moving towards me. She's so itchy, I just want to help her with that. You're so itchy. You're going to love it when you finally realize that I can help you reach those hard to get spots. Yes. Good girl. Yes. It's nice to have you kind of at least a little bit of stuff going on instead of just walking. Good girl. You're such a funny girl. Oh, so good. Nice. Good girl. So good. Yes. There you go. Really, for her first session, that's probably good. She's like looking at me. She's calm. She's just standing there. We can go in and have some breakfast and then come back out after breakfast and work with her again. But that was a good, like, yeah, she's like, oh, okay. So I think that's plenty good enough for the first session. Like, I got 2 eyes quite a bit there, and she just didn't feel like she needed to move her feet. So that's awesome. Good job.
You'll see her yawn here. A lot of people think yawning means a horse is tired, but that's usually not the case. In horses, it's often a sign that the nervous system is starting to settle and tension is releasing as they come out of a high alert state. For a wild Mustang, that's an important moment. What's even cooler is that she's done this while I'm still in the corral with her.
Good job.
You can see how the tension is gone from her body. She has nice, big, soft blinks. It just looks like she's feeling a lot better about her life. This was an important lesson for her that humans don't always mean pressure, and they're not always going to just run her around. It might seem like a pretty boring session, but this was very, very important for her.
She's funny. She ended up not snorting as much there once we got going. She quit snorting. So let's go get some breakfast and we'll come back out and do another little session like that.
All right, we're gonna get this pasture set up so we can let Riata and Taz come out and meet the new girl. It'll be nice. We're gonna keep them kind of separated off to where she's still like quarantined. They can't touch noses through the fence and stuff. But this way she'll have some buddies periodically coming up and checking on her and then leave in and stuff. Should make her feel a little more comfortable up there.
We're gonna let our horse Taz and our mule Riata out here in this back pasture so that they can keep this girl company. We don't want them to be able to kick or bite each other through the fence, and just in case, we also want to keep her quarantined for just a little while. So they'll be able to come up to these panels, but they won't be able to get too close to this girl. Since she's going to be in this pen by herself for quite a while, at least she can have a couple buddies somewhat close by.
Awesome. One more should reach, I think. Snort. There we go. Sweet.
What's next?
We're gonna get her some salt. Make sure we watched her drink a couple times, so she is drinking, but I'm gonna give her some loose salt in a pan in there in case she needs that. I might sprinkle a little on her hay just to entice her to drink. So that's next. Then we'll work with her.
One of me and Alyssa's pet peeves is baling twine on fencing, but we're making an exception because this one is super temporary. A little baling twine's okay. I think if it's over a week, no go. If it's less than a week, that'll be all right.
we should give them the news about trailers.
We got a lot to fill you guys in on.
Yeah, everyone loves this trailer. We've heard from a lot of you how pretty it is. It has served its purpose, and we don't like debt, which you guys know, so that's what we could afford at the time. The rest has definitely gotten worse since we've had it, but it's solid, it's safe, it's worked good for hauling our Mustangs home. And however, we know it's not the best, it's not that pretty. It is also over 20 years old, so we have decided to purchase a new stock trailer, which is going to be really exciting. We have our living quarters trailer, but we don't want to take that thing on a bunch of Forest Service roads because it's just going to beat it up. And it's an expensive trailer, and we want to use that when we're on the road. Every once in a while we might take it camping, horse camping, but it's only a 4-horse, and mostly it's just like not made for really bumpy roads to go up in the mountains. So that's what we've been using this trailer for. But we've decided to get a brand new, we thought about getting used, but we're going to get a brand new stock trailer from Big Ben Trailers out of Texas. So we are on their list. They're custom making us a trailer, and it's going to be so awesome for hauling Mustangs, hauling all of our, I think we fit all of our horses in it, mules and horses, and it's going to be perfect. It's got 14 ply tires on it. It's going to be perfect for these rough roads going out into the mountains. So that is in the works. It's going to be a little while before we can go get it or have it delivered. We haven't figured that out yet, but we will show you guys that trailer when we get it. So enjoy this one while you still can in all of its rusty glory, because it's getting replaced. I really like the Redmond Equine salt, Redmond Agriculture and Redmond Equine out of Utah. They have really good salt. This is just plain old non-iodized regular old salt. So I'm out of the loose Redmond Equine salt, and so we'll have to get her a block or something but for right now I'm gonna put this in there just in case she needs some salt, wants some salt. She has it. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on her hay. Anyway, we just want to make sure she doesn't get impacted. That's always just a concern of mine when they've had such a long trailer ride and some stress. So her little black nose is just the cutest thing. I love her little black muzzle. I know, it's scary. I'm sorry. All right, same thing as before. Good girl. She's like, I don't know about you people. It's very weird. Good girl. Yes, hi.
I'm just going to work on the same thing as before, catching her attention when she can give me 2 eyes, and I'm going to go ahead and back off. I am going to work on trying to close her bubble a little bit. I would like to see if I can get close enough that maybe she would sniff my hand. That might be pretty wishful thinking. But I'm just going to cut this session up because it's all the same sort of thing. This session was around an hour long, so I'm not going to have you guys sit through me approach and retreat for an hour.
Good girl. I know, I'm going to approach you on this side. Good.
She's definitely doing better about giving me 2 eyes and not freaking out every time she looks at me.
Good girl.
She even got brave enough to turn in towards me, which is a really good sign. She just can't quite turn and face me on that right side yet, so she has to do a full circle before she can give me 2 eyes.
Good. Yeah. Good girl.
I'm slowly able to work my way a little bit closer and closer to her.
And a little more. Perfect. That's good. Good job. You have such cute little soft eyes. I love your little eyes.
I do want to keep in mind that she's blinking the entire time and I'm not putting so much pressure on her that she's just freezing up.
Yes, you do. I know, it's a lot. I'm gonna spin. Good. You're all right. Try again. There. Good. With her, I might go to the flag just so my body is not as close to her and see if she can sniff the flag. We'll give this a chance first and see. But if me, my whole body being so close is too much. That was really good. Good job. Good job. Good job. It's interesting that she does a little spin. That makes her feel better. She's just like, I don't know, let me spin in a circle. Yes. I know. That's so good. You're a little distracted, but good job.
I went ahead and grabbed my flag. I have the flag balled up on the end so it's not flopping around. This will be a little bit easier for her to handle, but this gives my arm a longer reach, so maybe she'll sniff the end of the flag.
Good girl. Good girl.
I'm just gonna continue on like I did with my hand, only now with the flag. I'll hopefully be able to get the flag a lot closer to her nose than I would be able to in my hand.
She's like, this is a lot. This is also in case she does anything when she first touches it, strikes out. I'm not in the way. Because she might. She has a little bit of that look to her. She doesn't want to be mean, she just doesn't really know. Don't do that. You will get in trouble if you turn your butt to me. Even if you're unsure right now. That's not a thing we do. Good girl. She's definitely more confident with her butt. With her hindquarters and her face. Her face is she's pretty nervous about it. I'd like to get where she would touch it, just to know it's not gonna hurt her. Yes. Yeah. You're good. What is it? What is it? Yeah. There you go. Good job. Yes. Yes, what is it? Good job. That was really good. You're so brave. Good girl. I don't want to bring it up under your chin.
I mentioned not wanting to bring the stick up under her chin. Horses have a blind spot under their chin, and you don't want it to all of a sudden pop into their eyesight and really spook them. So I want to bring this out and around where she can see it coming the whole way.
She's like, I don't know. Good girl.
She's able to handle me standing so close to her now, so now I'm going to pick up the stick, and that's going to add a little pressure. And when she makes an effort and looks at it, I'm going to let her check it out for a second, and then I'm going to take the stick away.
Good girl. You're so good. You're so good. Good job.
Even though she's standing here really nicely and I could reach up and touch her nose, I am not going to do that. It could really freak her out. I'm going to let her touch it first. I'm not going to reach out and touch her first. You can see she gets curious there and she finally decides to check it out. While she's checking this out, I don't want to press it into her face or do any fast movements. I'm just going to slowly take it away from her and then take all the pressure off by walking away and giving her lots of space.
That was pretty good. She checked it out for quite a while that time. She had like her nostril kind of touching it, and
I'm going to end the session there. She did reach out and touch the flag, and that was awesome. That was a huge step for her. So we'll go ahead and give her a break, and we'll come back out and work with her one more time today.
that's probably honestly good for like right now. And maybe we give her another hour or so, and then we come out. We probably have enough time. We could do another 1 or 2 sessions still. So, how much hay you got left? Oh, hi. She's like, you're weird. You're so weird, Lainey. She's like, I don't know about all of this. Snort. Snort. Good girl. I wonder how long until she'll like lose that snortiness, you know? She's very snorty. She's like, nope, I can't keep you on that side. That side's just too scary. Good job. Good girl. It's interesting how she starts off each session like this, like pretty wide-eyed and pretty like, "Dah." And then by the end, she's like at a pretty good place mentally. He's right there.
I'm just going to start off with how I did on the earlier sessions. She's not quite as worried about me being in here as she was earlier today.
Is there things?
As soon as she looks at me, I'm going to back off.
Good girl.
She's pretty spooky about things around her. The other horses are running around, and she's just not familiar with her surroundings yet. She's only been in this corral since last night.
Good girl.
One thing I want to note is that this is a 60-foot round pen, so she has the option to leave anytime she feels like the pressure is too much. She goes to sniff the flag, but bonks her nose. It scared her a little bit,
Kinda bonked it, huh?
but that's okay. We'll just keep trying again.
Okay. Try again. It won't get you. That was just kind of you. Yeah. Good job. You scared yourself, huh? Yeah. I was ready for you to scare yourself.
She is a very sensitive horse, and she lacks a lot of confidence when it comes to people. She decides that's too much and she needs to leave, but what I like is she leaves a little ways, and then I ask for her to
Good
yield her
girl.
hindquarters
There you
and come back,
go.
and she does.
At least I was ready, so it's like I didn't react, you know? She just kind of was like, oh no. That was so scary. Good job.
She starts off each session pretty distracted outside of the corral. We don't have any visual barriers up, so she can see everything. You can see there when she turns to give me 2 eyes, she got worried.
Good job.
But then she turns and is able to look at me, which is much better than earlier today.
Good job. I know. I know.
When she goes to leave this time, I'm going to ask her to turn around and face me instead of running off. I'm going to see if she
Good
can do it.
job.
She turns
Good
back
job.
towards
That was
me,
the
which
right
is
choice.
awesome. I'll just keep going with approaching her with this little flag and then retreating. As long as she's settling and trying, I'm going to go ahead and retreat.
There you go.
I'm going to wait for her
Nice.
expression to soften before I retreat, though.
Yes.
She definitely has more curiosity than earlier today, which is really good to see.
You know you want
She
to.
decides that this is maybe a little
last time
too
it was
scary
very
and she
scary.
needs to walk away.
It might have bit me. I'm not really sure. I blacked out.
I'm going to keep my flag out and just see how she handles this pressure.
That's what she do.
She did pretty good. She took off at a trot, but that wasn't bad for how close I was to the rest of her body.
There you go.
I'm just going to ask that she turns and faces me again, and when she does, I'll take all the pressure off.
Can we get it?
She got pretty distracted a few times and spooky at some other things, so I'll just try to get her attention back when that happens. She was able to turn and face me from her right side, which this is the first time she's been able to do that and just stand there.
Good
So
job.
that's a positive step.
Oh, that was very good.
I'm going to speed up this section just so you can see how many times I went up and retreated. It takes a lot of this to get up to her. Some Mustang trainers are big into roping their horses, and I have nothing against that by any means. Sometimes that can definitely speed up the process because you're able to control them just a little bit more and show them that you're not going to hurt them if done correctly. But I kind of want to challenge myself and see how long it's going to take me to get up and touch this girl without any kind of ropes on her. I opted to not have a halter put on her or a drag line when I went and adopted her. I also opted to have her neck tag left on so that I would be able to take it off when she's comfortable with that. This is going to be a long process with her because she is a very touchy mare, but
Good
I'm up for the
girl.
challenge.
Yes, good girl. Good girl.
She was able to finally touch the flag again without freaking out, which was awesome. She even gets brave enough to touch it again. She is really, really sensitive around her nose and face, so I think it'd actually be better for her if I started touching her around her wither area and got her used to that before I ever try to touch her face. This really shows how touchy this mare is. I barely touched her mane hair and she had quite the reaction.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is part of the reason why I'm using a long stick to go ahead and touch her the first time, because I wasn't sure if she would strike out, and I definitely don't want to put my body in the way of any hooves that are flying around.
Okay, sis.
This is a perfectly natural reaction for a wild horse to
Good
have
job.
the first time you ever touch them. She's not trying to be mean in any way. She's just
Good
trying to
girl.
protect herself. She still has no idea what my
Good
intentions are.
girl.
I give her a moment to process there. That was really good that she was licking and chewing. I want to also start getting her used to my hand reaching out around her. I move my hand up and down while I'm reaching out to her. It just seems like it helps to not spook them as bad. Sometimes when you're too still and then you go to move, it can really freak them out. She's definitely really curious about me, but she really is quite fearful about her muzzle area touching anything.
I know.
You can see how she leans away from me there. I'm just gonna wait till she tries like this and then I'll retreat.
Good job.
When she leans away like that, she's telling me she's not okay with the situation. I'm just gonna back off and give her a little room to think on that.
Good girl.
You can see here how she paws and she's also licking and chewing. It takes me a while to work my way back up to her. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm petting her without actually touching her. She is pretty fearful when I go to move away. She doesn't really like my legs or my body moving around her yet.
Yeah.
When she's thinking about touching my hand, I'm just gonna wait and see if she'll be brave enough to do so.
Okay.
I offer again. She seems pretty curious. I'm gonna move just a little bit because I don't want to spook her. And she decides to be brave enough and finally touch my hand for just a split second. I'm gonna totally back off and let her think on that. That was the first touch with this mare. I'm gonna see if she can handle it again. I'm just gonna offer. She goes ahead and licks and chews while I'm moving my hand around and then has a big letdown with lots of yawns. I'm just gonna give her a little space to go ahead and let down and think on this. I like that she's able to self-regulate and come down off of stress while I'm so close to her. This is what I really liked about Rooster, our other Mustang, as well. He was just able to control his emotions and come down off of stress pretty quickly. So far, this mare seems like she's the same. Even though the initial touches and getting her tag off and getting a halter on this girl is going to take probably quite some time, I think once she gets over that hump, she's really going to be a very, very awesome horse.
Good girl.
She tries really hard to be brave and curious, which I really appreciate. I'm going to hang out for a second and then acknowledge her try and just give her a little space.
You're all right.
She puts her head down, and when she pulls it back up, she kind of spooks herself. I'm going to move back and forth from the flag to my hand. I'm going to try to get some more neck touches. I want to touch her firm enough when I finally do to not feel like a little fly landing on her mane. But I'm going to touch her mane first because I think that's going to be less scary for her than if I just go straight to her neck.
Job.
I touched her mane there and she didn't have the same reaction. You could tell she felt like that was a little bit of pressure, so I went ahead and gave her a moment. I'm going to try again. She takes her head away, so I'm not going to touch her this time. I'm just going to give her a second and then I'm going to retreat.
Good. Good job. You are so brave.
I'm going to try again, and this time she seems more accepting, so I'll go ahead and just give her a little bit of touches there on that big dread in her mane. When she takes her head away like that, thinking about leaving, I'm just going to wait there for a second and then retreat. I don't want to put too much pressure on her that she feels like she needs to take off away from me. She could easily spin and take off, so she's choosing to stay here with me.
Good.
I try to set myself up so that she does have an exit if she needs it. I don't want her to feel like I'm cornering her.
Good girl.
She has a big letdown after that, which is awesome. I think she's starting to figure out that maybe I'm not trying to attack her. I try to stand as still as possible while they're having some big letdowns and just let them process. I'm going to go back and touch her mane again.
Good job.
That was really good.
Good job.
And she has some more big letdowns after that. This is honestly a lot further than I thought I would get with this mare on the first day. She is going to be quite the challenge. She is very sensitive. She's not super curious about people, and she honestly doesn't really care about connecting with me too much yet. These head shakes and licks and chews are all signs of her coming down off of stress.
Good job.
You can see how she's a little bit more curious about me now.
Girl.
I'm not going to push this too far. I just want to get a couple more touches in and just make sure that she can relax while I'm doing so. I'm trying my best not to tickle her, but touching her up further on the neck is a little bit ticklish to her.
It did. It touched her mane. Good job. Yeah.
I'll try again and touch down on her little dread a little further. I'm going to try to touch her neck hair and see how she does. I made contact with it and you could see her shift away.
Good girl.
But she didn't leave, so that was awesome. She also didn't strike out, so I'm going to end the session on that note.
So good.
She definitely has a lot softer eyes and a lot softer expression after our sessions, which is awesome.
All right, for those of you that are new around here, we're gonna introduce you to my mule and our horse named Taz. And, well, my mule's name is Riata, but we're gonna introduce you to them and we're gonna turn them out so the new Mustang has some buddies in the pasture next to her. So let's go see Taz and Riata.
Come out real quick.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good job. Here we are. Pull this over here, okay? Open it all the way.
Well, that might have spooked her a little bit. Tazzy was coming in hot, it sounded like.
Tasmania. Tasmania. Hey, my boy. Sup? up, Tasman? What's up, Tasimoto? How you doing? Do you like your new girlfriend? Do you love your new girlfriend? Yes. Do you love your new girlfriend? Does my coffee smell funny? He says my coffee smells weird. I don't know what's in your cup, but it smells funny. Hey, girly. Where did I put my flag yesterday? Clear over here. Snort report.
This morning I'm going to start with the exact same thing I did yesterday. I won't bore you guys with too much of it because it's the same thing over again.
Good job.
Her bubble is pretty big this morning, so I'm just going to start off how we did yesterday morning.
Good girl. Good job.
It definitely isn't taking her quite as long for me to get up close to her today as it was yesterday. I'll go ahead and speed some of this up so you can see the approach and retreat and how many times we do this. But I don't want to play it in real time because it definitely is boring to watch. At this point, it's just a ton of repetition, and I just want to read her stress levels and make sure I'm not overdoing it with her. I want to push it just a little bit and then back off. As she gets more comfortable with it, I'm going to step closer and closer and start working on doing some touches on her mane again. Since her face is so sensitive, I'm not going to ever reach out and touch her face first. I think that's a big key with this mare. I finally make it up pretty close to where I can start moving the stick over by her neck. She makes a big effort there to try and look at me, so I'm just going to offer her to sniff this if she wants to.
Don't scare yourself.
She was able to touch it with her nose there and not react, which is way better than yesterday.
That was much better than yesterday.
I'm just going to give her a moment to think on that. I also want to start introducing my hand a little bit more. She's able to sniff it, and you can see she kind of spooks herself when she touches me. She is pretty scared about people's hands. The flag has definitely helped because she's pretty nervous about hands in general. I imagine to horses they can look a little bit like claws. Since my body is a lot of pressure as well, being up close to her, this stick allows me to stay back a little bit further and still make some touches on her neck. She's doing really well with me touching her mane this morning, which is awesome. She's kind of retained everything we worked on last night. I'm going to offer her my hand. Some of these camera angles, it's hard to tell, but I'm not petting her. I'm just offering my hand out probably 4 to 6 inches from her. She's brave enough to make a little effort there. She barely brushed me with her whiskers. If I can get to where I can touch her withers, I think she'll really enjoy some scratches, so that's kind of my goal this morning. I finally make a little contact and she definitely is not sure, so I'm not going to hang out there very long. I want to touch her and then get out before she decides to move her feet. I'm going to see if she's okay with my hand again and just keep going back and forth. I would really like to scratch her with my hand at some point, so I want to keep working with this. I'm just going to wait and see if she can sniff me. She wasn't brave enough, but she was brave enough to hang out, so that was really good. You can see how she's anticipating my flag maybe tickling her neck a little bit. I'm going to try to touch her firm enough that it doesn't tickle her. That was a great touch, and she didn't leave, which is a good thing. From the camera angle, it's hard to tell, but we're standing out towards the middle of the round corral, so she has all the room in the world to run away if she wants to. I'm going to make sure she feels okay with the flag just moving around and my hand moving around, and then I'm going to go ahead and scratch her. Since she didn't try to leave on that one, I stayed a little bit longer. You can see here where she tips her head away for a second and then she starts thinking about it. She's like, "What are you doing?" I love how she's a little bit curious about me now. She's never had people do this with her before, so she's really not sure what I'm trying to do. But she's starting to figure out that maybe I'm not trying to eat her. This time when I go to scratch her, you can see how she actually is starting to enjoy it. She's letting her walls down just a little bit. She definitely isn't fully relaxed, but I like that she's starting to enjoy the scratches just a little bit.
Yeah. Good girl. She's so itchy.
I'm just going to keep continuing on.
Scratch you some more, okay?
I'll approach her. You can see there that she was a little bit hesitant for a second. I'm going to wait and see if she can relax and then give her some scratches. I'm going to apply some pretty firm pressure when I'm scratching her because, again, I don't want to tickle her or annoy her. I want to actually have this feel like another horse is scratching her on the withers. If you watch other horses out in a pasture or in the wild, they'll often be scratching each other on the withers right here.
These two.
Her face is pretty itchy, but there's no way I think she's going to be able to be comfortable enough to allow me to scratch her face.
She's like, I need my tree. I knew how to get all the little spots with my tree. Oh.
I backed off quite a ways just to give her some room, so it does take me a little while to work my way back up to her. I'm going to speed this process up so you can see how I work my way back up to her at this point. It's definitely not super fast, and if I were to just walk fully straight up to her, that'd be way too much pressure, so I have to do it in little incremental steps. Once I'm up to her, she actually got brave enough to touch my hand just for a brief second.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if she can do it again. It looks like I'm petting her face right now, but I am not actually touching her. Still, to have my hand that close to her face was really good.
Here's the thing. Okay.
I'm going to go back to scratching her on the withers. And this time she definitely feels a little bit more relaxed. She's enjoying it quite a bit, which is great to see.
That's about hard to get. Yeah. Oh, baby girl.
I'm going to stay here for a little while and then go ahead and leave before she quits enjoying it.
Oh, yes.
I don't want to stay too long and have her get startled or scared and then cause more of a problem. I know she's pretty itchy down her rib cage because she likes to rub down there.
Oh, goodness.
I think if I moved clear down onto her ribs right now, that would be too much for her. So I'm just going to slowly move my stick along her back and see if I can find a really good itchy spot.
Oh, okay. Let's start to okay. Yes.
I also want to start working my way up her neck slowly.
Oh, you're so good. Is she just so itchy?
I'm going to scratch back towards her withers and see if she's got any itchy spots on her back there.
That's where Josie always gets itchy.
You can tell this feels kind of good, but she's not totally sure about it.
Oh, it's so good.
Now she's starting to get more into it and starting to let her guard down, which is awesome.
Oh my goodness.
If I were to move too quickly at this moment, I would really startle her, so I have to be careful not to spook her and just let her enjoy that.
Good girl. Oh my God. Okay.
I do want to start working a little further up on her neck as the time goes by, because eventually I need to be able to take that neck tag off of her.
You're a funny girl.
At this point, this little spot on her withers is pretty comfortable for her, so I'm going to start there and then slowly work my way up and back down her back and just see if I can kind of spread out that comfort zone. I tried to touch her neck there, and you can tell she was definitely not a fan. So I'll just go back to where she's comfortable, and obviously that was way too much for her. I'm going to hang out there until she's comfortable again, and then I'll go ahead and take the pressure away.
Okay.
We're just going to continue doing this for a while, and I'll work on slowly working my way up her neck and back down towards her back end. At this point, I definitely think she's more comfortable with me towards her back end than up on her neck. Each horse is very different. Like, Rooster was really comfortable with his face and neck, but past his withers, he was very uncomfortable. He ended up struggling with me picking up his back feet and being behind him. So that took us a really long time, where this girl is definitely very, very touchy up past her withers towards her face. So it's probably going to take me quite a long time to get her neck tag off, and even longer to get the halter on. I'm going to have to work on a lot of other things in the meantime because I don't want to push the issue too much. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a couple weeks or even longer before I can really get the halter on this girl. Again, no one is in a hurry, so it's not a big deal to me.
Oh, you're shedding so much.
The sooner I can get her haltered, the better, because then we can start working on other things, but I definitely want to do it on her terms.
Good job.
If it gets to the point where she's really friendly, but she just can't stay long enough for me to get a halter on, then I might try to get a rope around her neck and work with her with that first, and then the halter. There are different ways you can do that and start working on leading before you ever put a halter on a horse. And that might be something that I do with her. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on giving her lots of scratches and see if I can get her over that hump with just scratching her. You can see there she's kind of unsure about stuff, so I went ahead and retreated a little bit. I'm going to let her check this thing out. She definitely is the type of horse that is sort of curious and really would like the attention, but she also has her walls up, and she has moments where I feel like she's starting to let her guard down, and then she catches herself and is like, nope, I can't trust people, and then kind of backs off. I think once she finally lets her walls down for good and realizes that people are not out to get her, she's going to excel. But I bet that will take a really long time with this girl. Sometimes these more challenging Mustangs actually turn out to be the best Mustangs. I think when it comes to training Mustangs and really any equine in general, it's important not to get too goal-oriented. Yes, I would love to get her neck tag off and get a halter on her, but I'm just going to take my time with her and make sure that she's ready for each step. Often when we get so goal-oriented, we miss reading the horse, and we can often make things worse for them and for ourselves. It's pretty easy to have big setbacks when you push too far too fast.
She's so itchy.
With her doing so well with that and really enjoying that last round of scratches, I'm going to end our session for the day there. That was plenty good enough for me. She had some nice letdown moments at the end, and you can see her body is nice and relaxed and her eyes are nice and soft now after our session. I like to end it with her feeling good about her life and also feeling good about me.
Oh. This pile's still pretty frozen.
She is doing so much better about me picking out her pen. Yesterday she was tearing around, completely terrified of this, and today she's mostly just curious about it. She still is very unsure, and she's definitely keeping her eye on me, but I'm glad to see such a change in her. I wouldn't call this horse super reactive as far as a lot of things go. She's actually pretty chill about the dogs running around and the chickens. Rooster had come apart a lot about all the little animals running about, and he still isn't too sure about the dogs darting in and out when we're doing stuff. This girl is a lot calmer about all that kind of stuff, but humans are definitely very scary to her. Again, we started at the same place, but we definitely made progress a little bit quicker. She was able to have me step up pretty close to her right away, which was a good sign.
Yeah. Hey, sweetie. Good girl.
She's still very leery about people's hands, and I imagine that's going to be an issue for her for quite some time.
I know.
She just can't quite be brave enough to touch me. I start in with the stick again, and I'm going to work on touching her neck because I think she's going to be way more comfortable with me going up to her withers than to her face.
Yeah. Good.
She's pretty unsure at first, so I'm just going to take it nice and slow with her.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too long, though, until I find a nice itchy spot.
He's so good.
She's not able to let down fully, but that does feel pretty good to her.
Oh my goodness.
I would scratch her for a little while and then step back and give her 30 seconds to a minute just to relax, and then I would reach up and scratch her again. As I continued this process, then I could scratch her a little bit further back and in different areas. I'm not going to show every approach and retreat. I'll just show some clips from all of this.
Good girl.
She got pretty curious and wanted to check me out, which is a good sign. She just isn't confident enough to really investigate my hand, though. She'll be doing really good, and then something will bug her a little bit, and she'll have some spooks.
Good girl.
She's definitely a very touchy horse, and she's pretty particular about things. But it doesn't take too long once I start scratching her for her to let down and enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're going to continue this process, but I am going to start adding in my hand, reaching out towards her and moving it around towards her neck. I would like to try to make contact with her neck with my hand if possible today. I'm going to rotate between scratching her with this and then working on reaching out and seeing if she feels okay about me touching her. You can see from her little jump that she's definitely not quite ready yet.
Good.
We're just going to keep on repeating this process, and I'm going to try to start scratching her in some new places with the stick since she feels more comfortable with that.
Oh my.
I give her little breaks in between trying to touch her with my hand just to make sure she's feeling comfortable and relaxed.
Good girl. Got you there.
She's doing better with me scratching up towards her neck, which is awesome. You can tell she's not totally comfortable with this, but she's choosing to stay. I'm not going to push it too far, and I'll retreat. I'm going to keep working on my hand, and finally I'm able to touch her a little bit. I'm able to scratch her a lot better with my fingers than I was with the flag. Even though it's February right now, she is already shedding out. So are our other horses. It's been such a warm winter. We are supposed to get some cold temps, but I think she has plenty of winter coat left on that she should be totally fine. All this shedding hair is definitely making her a bit more itchy though.
Good girl. Yeah. You okay?
You can see how sometimes when she looks at me, she sort of spooks herself.
Just your hair. Just your hair.
She is definitely pretty timid when it comes to people, and it's going to take quite a while to get her to fully trust me.
Good girl. You're all right.
She's pretty jumpy here and there. I just hang out for a second, and when I do go to touch her, I try to make sure it's fairly firm so I'm not sneaking up on her.
Good girl.
It's important to stand up towards the shoulder because I'm out of the zone if she were to strike or kick at me, which she definitely could right now. She's a very wild horse still. She's going to be suspicious of all my movements, and I might not be doing anything wrong, but she could take it as an attack towards her and feel the need to strike or kick out. She would just be doing it out of self-defense, not knowing any better. But I need to keep that in mind and make sure I'm not putting myself in harm's way. She's starting to enjoy these scratches a little bit more, which is awesome. She's even letting me work a little bit up on her neck, which is a big deal. I don't hang out too long. I scratch her and then step back and give her a minute or 30 seconds to go ahead and just relax and think about it in between me going up and scratching her some more. I've cut a lot of that out of these clips though, just to keep it from being so boring. She's starting to do pretty good with me scratching her with my hand, which is pretty awesome. This is actually way further than I thought we would get the second day. Since the first day, she really wasn't even curious about me. She definitely isn't sure what to think about people still. I go ahead and start scratching her a little further back with the flag. She's got some pretty serious itchy spots on her hindquarters, and that makes it really nice for me to get back there with this flag. I definitely do not trust her to not kick me yet, so it's awesome to have this flag in my hand. I can reach back there a little bit further. It's pretty cool that she can have such big come down moments with me standing so close to her. She really is a thinker, and she's a very thoughtful horse. I'm excited once she gets this initial fear out of the way.
Good girl.
I slowly work my way into some new areas to see if she can handle it, and if I can find any other good itchy spots. I know that her chest is itchy, but that's a real touchy spot on horses, so I proceed with caution there just to make sure I don't make her feel too worried about it.
Good girl, meow.
You can see how much she's shedding. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to try to scratch under her mane because I know she's super itchy up there. But it's just a little bit too much for her still. She can't really fully enjoy it. I can tell she kind of likes it, but she just can't let herself relax. She gets a little bit worried about it, so I just retreat back to a spot where she's really comfortable. She does get too worried every once in a while and has to leave. But that's where I'm working with her in a big corral, so she's free to leave anytime she feels like she needs to. I just ask her to face up. I'm going to work on this right side a little bit as well today. I would really like to get where I can touch her with this flag on that right side. She is extremely touchy on this side, so it's going to take a lot for her to be able to tolerate me touching her with the flag. I'm not going to press it too much. She's pretty uncomfortable on that right side still. She did make an effort, so I'll go back to the left side and work on that and get her comfortable again. When I switch and work on her right side, she tends to get a little more leery of everything, so we kind of have to start over on the left. It doesn't take her too long to get comfortable again, though. She's even letting me scratch her clear back by her tail, which is something Rooster would have never done at the beginning. Since she doesn't feel comfortable grooming me, she enjoys grooming the fence. We continue working on my hand giving her scratches mixed with the flag giving her scratches further back on her hindquarters and up towards her neck. She's still not totally okay with my body being close to her, so I have to stretch out pretty far to reach her. She is able to look at me every once in a while with two eyes, even while I'm scratching her, which is a pretty awesome deal.
Good job. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good job. Good job.
Once she is nice and relaxed again, I'm going to continue scratching her and see if I can scratch maybe a little further up on her neck or down on her ribs.
Likes to do that. Yes.
And then I'm going to work on that right side again now that she's nice and chilled out.
Good girl. Nice.
She's doing a little bit better on this side now. I'm not actually touching her. I'm just waving the flag around in that spot to get her used to the motion of it first.
Girl.
I'm going to continue doing this. And once I feel like she's somewhat comfortable, I'll go ahead and just try to touch her. I go ahead and touch her here, and she definitely is not okay with that right now. That wasn't too bad of a reaction, but she did have to leave. So we just go back to the left side for a little while and not make a big deal out of it. Once she's comfortable with the left again, then I'm going to go back over to the right side. I'll just start over again with getting her used to the motion. And once she's okay with that, then I'm going to try to touch her again. You can see she had a pretty big reaction, but this time she didn't leave, which was good. Once she's ready, I'm going to try to touch her again. She stayed and didn't have nearly as big of a reaction. There, she lets me touch her even more. I'm going to see if she can relax enough to enjoy some scratches on this side. She's starting to let down. If she starts looking like she's getting worried, then I'll go ahead and retreat before she feels like she needs to move. That was really good, so I'm going to give her a break there. I'm going to end this session just by going back to her left side, which she's way more comfortable on, and giving her some scratches around her butt area, which she really seems to enjoy. I'm also going to see if she'll take a little bit of hay out of my hands. She is very leery about people's hands. She's able to take one little bite, and I'm going to call that good for right now. I'll come back out and work with her just a little bit later.
That wasn't so bad. Good girl. You're okay. So itchy, huh? Good girl. So itchy, huh? Yes. So itchy.
I think once this girl lets her walls totally down, she's going to be a really cool and goofy horse. I wouldn't be surprised if that takes weeks or months with her though. This process is definitely going to be a slow one.
Good job.
We appreciate you guys following along, and we'll be posting more updates on this girl as we progress. Again, if you want to check out the full sessions, you can see all the hours over there on the members channel. We'll continue to cut up and edit the public version so that they're not quite as boring for those of you who don't care to sit through all of it. I think it's going to be quite the long road with this girl, but I hope you guys enjoy watching, and I'm sure the transformation will be worth it later on down the road.
Get your part way. Reach. You can do it. You're so close. I won't even look at you. Good girl.